I can't be living off checks. Burn the cess when I'm stressed. EPE what I rap. In the ground shake when I step.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Chosen One with two guns, repping that EmZ Bitch TV. First thing first, make sure you smash that sub button, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. You already know how we do. Now check it. So today we got an update on the late great Nipsey Hussle. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, man. One of the greatest rappers to ever do it from LA, man. Now check it, y'all. Check it. So as y'all know, Nipsey was he was against gang violence. Even though he was a gang member, he was against gang violence. He was helping. He was doing a lot of good stuff in the community. He was helping ex-convicts, felons that was coming straight out of prison. He was giving them jobs. You know what I'm saying? He was helping homeless people with food, with clothes. Man, this guy was doing all types of stuff. He was like all around one of the best guys, rapper, like in the world at one point when he was alive. He was doing all the good stuff. He was doing basically everything good, everything right. There was nothing that you could have said bad about Nipsey Hussle, man. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that anybody could have said bad about him. And Nipsey was on his game, man. He was helping everybody out. He was a good rapper. He was doing it. He was really doing it. So now check it, y'all. So now reports are saying that the police was actually investigating him during the time that he was doing all of this peacemaking and all of that with the gangs. You feel me? Now I'm gonna read to y'all what the reports are saying, then I'll give y'all my opinion afterwards. Okay? I got two different reports. I'm gonna start off with what they're saying and the police was doing, and I'm gonna tell y'all what the police is saying afterwards. Okay? All right, here we go. The Los Angeles Police Department has been quietly investing Nipsey Hussle's business for gang ties. This is the same department that hailed him as a peacemaker. And exposed by the New York Times revealed the LAPD surveillance of the late rapper and his business. The probe was allegedly prompted by concerns about the presence of gangs around the strip mall owned by Hussle, which houses his clothing store. An LAPD spokesperson confirmed the department was working with Nip's business partners to mitigate some of those crime issues, but did not go into detail. Hussle was open about his past as a member of Rollin 60's Crips and was scheduled to meet with the LAPD after his death. Okay, so there's one part, right? So there you have it. He was under investigation, even though he was doing all this good stuff, trying to prevent, gang violence around the town, around his town. They were investigating him because since he was giving convicted felons jobs, right? The police was watching all of this. They're watching everything. They're looking at Nipsey like, well, if he's giving all of these felons jobs, it's only a matter of time before these felons start doing stuff that they're known to do. You know what I'm saying? This is how the police was looking at him. The police never looked at him as a savior. They were just looking at him as another gang member that's just trying to get by. He might be trying to help a little bit with his community, but at the end of the day, they still looked at him as a gang member, y'all. At the end of the day, they still looked at him as that. They don't care what good he was doing. At the end of the day, he was still a gang member. And then on top of that, he's giving jobs to other gang members fresh out of prison. You feel me? So this is catching the eyes of the police. The police watching this guy like, damn, if he keeps hiring all these convicts and all these felons straight out of prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine what the cops were thinking? This guy's over here on buying lots. Did y'all know that he had rented the Marathon and they was about to kick him out? They gave him a 30-day notice. He spoke to the landlord. He went and paid the landlord $2.5 million. The landlord was like, oh, here, you can have it. Once he told him $2.5 million, that lot probably was worth way less than that. And probably not even $1 million. Once he offered him 2.5, landlord said, oh man, where do I sign that? Where do I sign? It's yours. Nipsey went and bought the lot. The police was watching everything. They had that junk under surveillance the whole time. The whole time they watching Nipsey Hussle. Here you go, people thinking, oh man, Nipsey, he about to have the meeting with the LAPD. Everything about to be Gucci now. Everything about to be good. Ain't gonna be too many killings, too many shooting. Ain't gonna be too many gang on gang violence. And in reality, the police wasn't caring about none of that stuff he was doing, bro. They just watching him, waiting for them to have any type of information or evidence to be able to lock his ass up. Because if you think for 1 second that the police wasn't ready to lock up Nipsey for any little thing he would have done involving gang activity, trust me, they was going to lock him up. It would have been a matter of time. What the police do is that they investigate and investigate. Then the feds will come in, then they start investigating, right? Then before you know it, a RICO case would have just landed on Nipsey's head. You know what I'm saying? The RICO case would have been like, okay, Nipsey and the Rollin 60's, they would have probably sprung like 20, 30 guys, all organized crime. The ringleader, who, y'all? The ringleader would have been Nipsey Hussle, because for one, he's the one that bought the lot for $2.5 million, right? Second, he's the only rapper with the power and the money. Third, Nipsey is hiring convicts and felons straight out of prison. Straight out of prison, he's hiring them, giving them jobs, giving them money, and the police is watching it. Do you think the police was liking all of that stuff? You think the government likes that? The government don't like none of that. The government don't want felons and convicts to be working, living a happy, dandy life. They don't want that. That's the reason why they give you felonies when you come out of jail, and it's on your jacket. That's why they give you that F on your jacket, so you won't be able to get a job, a good job. So you're forced to go nickel and dime. And what's going to happen when you nickel and dime, y'all? What's going to happen? What happens? You end up going where? Right back to jail, right? It's a cycle. It's a 360 cycle that the government been doing for since the beginning of time, y'all. You feel me? You just got to open your eyes, man. I'm not believing for 1 second that the boys was teaming up with Nipsey Hussle. Now, they were listening to him. They had their ears open. Yeah, they listening to him. Yeah, they made meetings with him. They scheduled it. Because it ain't nothing to have a talk with him. That's not about nothing. But at the end of the day, don't think for 1 second that these boys were friends with Nipsey, or that they were actually considering to do whatever Nipsey wanted to do in the meeting they were supposed to have the day before he got murdered. You feel me? The day before he got murdered. No, I'm sorry. The day he got murdered, right? The following day he was supposed to meet up with them, with the police, right? So at the end of the day, I really don't think the police was ready to do anything with him. They was ready to listen, and that's it. Okay, we'll listen to you. We'll see what you got to say. But at the end of the day, we still gonna watch you, and we're gonna watch all of your friends, and that's it. And we're gonna come down on you. But wait, we're gonna let you chill, we're gonna let you party, we're gonna let you have your fun. As soon as we get enough evidence, this is what like the federal do. This is why the feds got a what, 96% conviction rate. The reason why their conviction rate is that high is because the feds, they don't go after you for one little piece of evidence. They don't do that. What they do is they will watch you for like 6 months to a year. They will gather a bunch of stuff. I'm talking about a whole bunch of stuff. They'll gather video, audio, phone, pictures. You know what I mean? What else? They'll bring witnesses. They'll even have informants. You know what I'm saying? They'll wait until they get all of that, and then that's when they go in. So they'll have so much stuff on you that it's virtually impossible for you to beat them. Because what they do is they act like they're not watching you, so they will let you continue to break the law. Even though they see you breaking the law, they let you continue to break the law. This is what they do. They already know that you're doing all of this illegal activity, right? They already know you're doing illegal activity, right? But what they do is they will let you continue to do it for a matter of time until they have enough. And when they come get you, it's over for you. This is why the conviction rate is so high. Because how you going to beat something when they letting you do all of this stuff for God knows how long, and finally when they come get you, they're like, you're like, well, you know, sir, that we've been watching you for the past 3 years. You're like, damn, 3 years? How come you ain't go get me 2.5 years ago then? That's why. Because they want to have enough stuff on you where it's impossible for you to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, here are the other sources, the reports that I got here. This is what the police is saying after the word got out there that they were investigating him. Okay? I'm gonna give you my opinion, that I'm out of here. Here we go. All right. Nipsey Hussle was not going to be prosecuted for any type of gang activity at the time of his death. The LAPD was trying to curb gang activity in and around his store, but he was never the target, according to law enforcement. Of course they're gonna say that, y'all. They're saying now that he was never the target. How is he not the target? Think about it. How is he not the target if he's the only one with all the money and the power? When you got money, money equals power. He's the only one that was able to put $2.5 million to buy a lot. There's no Crip member anywhere in California that would have been able to put $2.5 million to open a lot, then open up your own store or whatever, and do whatever the hell you want with the store. You could sell pizza for all you know. Pizza, white tees, Dutches, sneakers, whatever the hell you wanted. As long as you have the right paperwork and it's not illegal, you could have done whatever you wanted the right way, right? Okay, here we go. Shout out to TMZ. As TMZ and the New York Times reported, the LAPD and LA City Attorney were investigating Nipsey and his business partner for alleged gang activity at his Marathon clothing store and surrounding the strip mall. Sources connected to the two agencies now tell us they weren't specifically targeting Nipsey. They say the investigation centered around updating gang activity in the area, which has been a long-standing problem. You see what I mean? A long-standing problem. You see? That means that there's been a problem for a while now. So they're just watching. They're watching. Because that's all they could do. Because Nipsey, even if Nipsey was doing anything illegal, which I doubt it, they know that he's a smart man and he's not going to slip up that easy. So what can they really do? They have no choice but to sit back and watch. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it is what it is, and that's the problem. They was watching. They were watching Nipsey, man. They was watching them. They ain't care about all that other stuff, all that good stuff you were trying to do. At the end of the day, the second Nipsey would have slipped up, they was gonna bring him down, and everybody around him. Trust me, because like I said, at the end of the day, he was still a Rollin 60's Crip. At the end of the day, right? All right, here we go. Now, no one from either agency would be specific as to their end game. And no one from either agency could explain why Nipsey's name was specifically mentioned in connection with the investigation, especially since they now say he wasn't a target. Let me stop right there. Of course they're not. They're not going to tell you nothing. Why? They're looking at people like, bro, why I gotta explain to you why his name even was mentioned in this, man? We do what we want to do. We do what the hell we want to do. That's what the cops is like. That's what they're talking like. That's how they're responding. Like, what's wrong with y'all? We do what we want, bro. We the police, B. This is what we do. If we want to bring somebody down, we'll bring them down. We don't care he was handing out pizzas to the hood. We don't care about none of that stuff. It's messed up, but I'm just telling y'all, this is what it is. This is the world we live in America. This is how it is in America. You know? I'm almost done, y'all. Here we go. One high-ranking law enforcement sources tells TMZ the investigation is now a hot potato in the wake of Nipsey's murder because the city has hailed him as a hero and someone who was trying to prevent gang violence. You feel me? All right. Nipsey shunned gang activity at Marathon, and although he allowed gang members to enter his shop, he forbade any violence. As a matter of fact, he employed past felons and ex-gang members to keep them on the straight and narrow path. You know what I'm saying? By the way, Nipsey's family closed the Marathon store after his death, but the online shop is still running. And that's it. That's from that part. So basically, at the end of the day, y'all, they not trying to give nobody no reason of anything why his name popped up. They like, look, man, we were watching everything. You know, we know he's a gang member. We know he's helping other gang members. We know he's giving them jobs. You know what I'm saying? Even though Nipsey is saying that the reason why he's giving them jobs is so he could keep them on a straight and narrow path, so they won't end up going back to jail. So they basically, Nipsey is giving jobs to the felons so they don't have to sell drugs. In other words, they won't be doing nothing illegal. In other words, if they're not doing nothing illegal, then there's no problem, right? But what I'm trying to say is that the police don't care about none of that. They still didn't care. They were watching him. Because at the end of the day, they looking at Nipsey like, nah, we don't believe all this. I'm pretty sure this is what they were thinking. They were thinking in their head that all this that Nipsey was doing was a front. Was all a front. This is what the boys was thinking. This is a front. He's playing with us to let us think that he's really trying to help the community, but in reality, he's doing something else. We don't know what he's doing, but we're gonna watch. And that's the only thing that I got out of this whole thing. That they were watching him because they felt like that he was sooner or later gonna break the law, and they was gonna bring him down and whoever was around him down in some type of a RICO. I'm pretty sure if Nipsey didn't die, y'all, if Nipsey didn't get killed that day, he would eventually would have been in some type of RICO. Because if they were watching him, even after he was doing all that good stuff, it would have just been a matter of time where they would have brung him into something that he probably wouldn't even had nothing to do with. But because he's the one buying buildings and lots and all of that stuff, they would have looked at him like, well, if it wasn't because of you buying all of this and doing all of this, these people would have never been over here to begin with. You understand where I'm getting? A lot of y'all gonna understand me, some of y'all won't. It is what it is. I'm just telling y'all. Something is fishy with the boys. They were watching Nipsey for a reason. They didn't care about all that good stuff that he was doing, y'all. Don't get it twisted. They did not care not one bit about nothing that he was doing positive. At the end of the day, they like, yo, he's a rolling 60's Crip. And he's around other rolling 60's Crips. On top of that, he's hooking up with Crips coming fresh from prison. Fresh. Giving them money, giving them clothes, putting them in position to make money and take care of themselves so they don't have to break the law, right? But the police don't care about none of that, bro. They don't care. At the end of the day, they look at all of us like convicts, felons, and sooner or later, we're just going to break the law again. That's how they look at us. And it's been like that since the beginning. There's nothing new about anything that I said here, y'all. It is what it is, man. EmZ Gang 100. Hey, what up? Hope y'all like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash that like button, and drop them comments. Also, for those who want to show love and support the EmZ TV, just Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo located in the description box in every video. Chosen one, done. EmZ, don't forget the TV 100.